Chelsea fans, we go third in the Premier League table with that draw 1-1 against Arsenal at Stamford Bridge. Now, I've already seen creators over YouTube and across TikTok complaining that his points dropped. It's disappointing. Arsenal for the taking. But I'm going to be brutally honest. I thoroughly enjoyed that game. I thought it was scrappy at times. I thought it was very intense. I don't think either side really wanted to make any mistakes. And it definitely was a game of two halves. There are things I want to cover, there's things I want to talk about, but I think 1-1 is a great result against Arsenal, considering we drew 2-2 against them last season when we shouldn't have. And last year at the Emirates, we lost 5-0. Yes, it's a different manager, different system, different players, but I thought this was a very good performance from Chelsea. Yes, a few players didn't have the best of games. However, there's a handful of players that played exceptionally well tonight. And I want to start from the first moments of the game all the way through. And in the first half, we started the game how we meant to go. And we settled into this game very, very well. We showed Arsenal we're not going to roll over. We're not going to let you do what you want and score all these goals. We're not going to crumble defensively. We settled into the game well. We had good patterns of play, good crisp passing. And I have to highlight, Levi Colwell's line-breaking passes were fantastic today and they were consistent. And when he got a chance to do it and they were pulled off, usually into someone like Caicedo, Lavia or Palmer, it gave us so much space on the counter to then pick a pass going forward. Now, yes, Chelsea had chances. Also, Arsenal had a lot of chances, especially later in the game, and we'll get to that. Gusto should have buried the chance that he had. Pedro Neto was one of the best players on the pitch today, our attacking threat, and everything came from him. He put that ball in the box on Gusto's forehead 4 yards out. Now look, you would rather someone more aerially dominant to be on the end of that cross to make sure it's punished and put away. It wasn't meant to be for Gusto. It goes blaring over the bar and it is frustrating. It's disappointing. Gusto is yet to score his first Chelsea goal. It would have been amazing for him to do that. His overall game, he wasn't that great. He was okay in spells, and he finds himself in them half spaces a lot. I think Enzo Maresca likes the thought of Gusto in those half spaces and becoming that extra attacker going forward. But I'm going to be realistic. If Reece James is fit, play Reece James. Play Reece James. The cameo Reece James has wasn't great, if I'm being honest, but I don't know. We're going to persevere with Gusto in this position because the last few games he's been getting in the spaces well. Defensively, we know he's pretty good, and there was a couple of times defensively where he, was needed and stepped up and made that work. I feel like Noni Madueke, a lot of people on my TikTok live stream were saying that he was useless. He needs to come off. He's not that great. I thought his defensive work today was fantastic. The amount of times he got back to defend and help was I couldn't count. He was always there trying to support that right-hand side defensively, and it goes unnoticed. And I want to be the person that says, no, it's not going unnoticed. He wasn't the best going forward. He did try and create chances. He did try being direct. He got past his man time and time again, put the balls in the box, but there was no one in there for him to aim at. And it doesn't matter if it was Neto or Noni Madueke or Reece James or Gusto or whoever was putting the ball in. Arsenal did a very good job of creating a block in the centre of the park and centrally anyway, whether it was in their box or it was a bit further up or it was at the centre of the park. They did extremely well. They just blocked together and nullified any potential chances from a cross. Also, we're at a height disadvantage against Arsenal, so I don't understand why the whole crossing thing was coming in. There were a few cutbacks that were unlucky, maybe a poor first touch or it was cut out last second. But I have to highlight that Noni Madueke was great defensively, even though he wasn't amazing going forward. But hey, that was it. Arsenal boxed us in for a good period of that first half. They really did, and I thought that was a time that Arsenal were going to capitalise and score that goal and really set the tone of the game. And I think Chelsea did well to be resilient, to fight back from that. We got lucky when it comes to the Havertz goal being offside. However, there's two sides to the coin there. No pun intended. Great creator, by the way. I think our defensive line was great because he was caught offside, so they did their job. But we were sleeping a little to allow that chance to happen in the first place. But it was so rewarding. So rewarding when Havertz tried shushing the crowd and then it was overturned for offside. Hold that Havertz, because after that you were out of the game. His head bled. Obviously we don't wish that upon anyone. It was all patched up and he missed the chance at the end of the game which could have sealed the 3 points for Arsenal that people seem to be forgetting about, that Arsenal created chances throughout this game. But going through the first half, it was a 50-50 game. The pendulum was swinging. Chelsea dominated for sections, Arsenal dominated for sections, and then it levelled out going into half-time. And I feel like Chelsea needed that half-time more than Arsenal did. But second half, we know that we start bright under Enzo Maresca. And that's exactly what we did today against Arsenal. We set the precedent in the second half and went, no, hang on, we're coming out swinging. We're going to create chances. We're coming at you because you're there for the taking. And that's exactly what happened. We had a very bright start. Levi again with the line-breaking passes. They were just so consistent and so good. I don't think we created too much up front. Yes, we created some chances. Jackson had a relatively quiet game in terms of service, but I thought he did very well holding the ball, getting other players involved and winning fouls. There's another thing that was highlighted on my live, which I just couldn't agree with. There's this weird agenda. If Jackson doesn't score 3 goals in the first half, that he needs to go. And I just don't agree with that. I think he had a good game, despite having a lack of service. Now, I have to say, with the Arsenal goal that we conceded, a lot of people are blaming Sanchez, and I am publicly, it seems like I say this every week. I'm not a fan of Sanchez. I don't think he's good enough to be Chelsea's number one, but I will always give him credit where it's due. He made some incredible saves this game to keep us in the game, right? And for me, that nullifies conceding at your near post in that goal. When you say it out loud, you think, oh, well, he conceded his near post. Go watch that goal again. Watch it another time. Watch it a time after that. It shouldn't go into your near post, no. But we left 2 men unmarked at the back stick. When you switch the play from left to right or right to left that quickly, you're always going to have at least 1 that's unmarked because of an overload. To have 2, that's poor. The defence is sleeping. Yes, he has time to take that down. Sanchez, if he comes out for the ball and misses and gives a penalty, we slate him. If he stays on his line and doesn't save it, we tell him he should have come out, we slate him. He shouldn't be conceding his near post, yes. Martinelli levers that, hit and hope. Hit and hope from a tight angle. Sometimes they go in, sometimes they don't. Sanchez doing Sanchez things at the end of the day, and I think that he did extremely well to keep us in the game after that moment. Chelsea came alive when we conceded that goal, and we put Arsenal on the back foot for large periods of that second half. Arsenal still created chances, and we'll get to that. But I feel like overall, Arsenal showed why Ødegaard's so important. He created a chance out of nothing. It was a well-worked goal from that pattern of play to create that chance, and they scored from it. Other than that, they created chances, but I never felt like, oh, we're going to lose here. They were either half chances or cleared, or they missed by quite a way. There was one chance right at the end that Kai Havertz missed, which again, any other day could have gone in, and that would have been 2-1. Points go to the Emirates. I am grateful for how intense this game is and how Chelsea managed to keep the points and go third in the Premier League table. We have to talk about Enzo Fernandez. It's such a revolving door conversation. Now, me personally, I like Lavia and Caicedo as that double pivot. I think defensively it's fantastic. And I think that going forward it can do numbers. But when you take Lavia out and you put Enzo in, you get more creative going forward. Fact. Defensively, I feel like at times can get ran through because Caicedo is kind of doing 2 people's jobs. Enzo played very, very well today when he came on. Played very well. He got himself an assist. Neto's unreal strike from outside the box. Great goal on cutting in off that right-hand side. Nice, simple little pass from Enzo to set him out. And then Neto takes a touch, drives it into the bottom corner. Great finish. That guy was unbelievable today. It was very hard to not give him man of the match, but there were a few players that played exceptionally well. And I feel like Enzo Maresca said at the start of the season, we are not ready to compete with Arsenal and City. And I totally agree. I don't think we're ready yet, but maybe next season, depending on how this season finishes. But today we showed that we can compete. Now, yes, Arsenal's run of form hasn't been great. They did play very defensively today. I mean, you look at their midfield 3, it was Partey, Rice and Ødegaard. And Ødegaard obviously creates. Partey had a great game. Rice played well. And then you're coming up against Caicedo and Lavia. It's just a defensive midfield section. And we had Palmer, which Arsenal did very well to block out the game for large parts. He still did carve some chances out and get us forward a few times. So this whole Palmer ghosts in top 6 games, it's just a load of nonsense. Just look at last year's results. And I don't think he had a bad game today. Yes, he was relatively quieter than normal, but he still had a good impact on the game. But this is the thing with Chelsea is we seem to, if we don't go ahead early, we seem to come alive when we concede. We seem to concede regularly. The one thing I will give us credit for today is we did not crumble after we conceded. We stayed in the game, we stayed resilient, and we fought our way back into this game. And there were chances where we could have won it, and there were chances that for Arsenal could have won it as well. I think a draw is a fair result when you watch that game back. Watch the game back. A draw is a fair result. It benefits Chelsea more than it does Arsenal. Arsenal really needed that win to kind of leapfrog us and get into that top 4 before the international break. And for us, it means we go into third. There's a few other teams below us all on level points. It just makes it interesting coming out of the other side of the international break, which I believe we've got Leicester away, which should go our way. Let's be real. It should go our way. But I think overall, I think it was a very intense game, scrappy in sections. Both teams didn't want to make a mistake. Both teams did kind of make a mistake, really. I mean, maybe not for the Neto goal, but I feel like it was a very good game of football. And I think that, the call-outs for players that didn't play well, I just didn't see it today. I just didn't see it. I'm not even trying to be biased. I watched that whole game and I was talking to my live stream about both teams and both sets of players and really analysing it and seeing, like, Caicedo, fantastic today. Marc Cucarella was absolutely everywhere. Well-deserved man of the match. That guy's unreal. I love Cucarella, and he should be playing left-back every time he's fit. He's awesome. I think Lavia played well. Obviously, he was taken off because I don't think he's got the fitness for full 90. Enzo played well when he came on, created a lot, did well defensively, got himself an assist. Neto was fantastic. Wesley Fofana was fantastic today, always in the right place at the right time, clearing, blocking, driving the ball up the pitch, beating that sort of Arsenal attack to get into the midfield and driving the ball forward. Thought he was fantastic. Levi Colwill was good. He had a couple of moments where he made that silly scissor tackle on Saka. Didn't need to be done, which I think was the free kick where Havertz scored from. That didn't need to be done. And a couple of passes in the first half, which were a bit, what are you doing? But overall, good game. Fofana played fantastic. Sanchez made some literally game-saving saves near the end of the second half and throughout the second half when Arsenal did create a chance. Overall, I think it was a good game. And it was a good game of football. I think people have been very reactionary. I'm happy with a draw against Arsenal considering how that game went. Yes, there were chances for us to win it. There were also chances for Arsenal to win it and take the 3 points away. And for us to get a point against a top 6 team is a great result. We lost 2-0 to City at home. Okay, that's one chalked off. We lost to our Liverpool, I believe. Or we may have drew. I can't remember. But that's chalked off. We've now played Arsenal. And again, there is a disparity between Chelsea, Arsenal, City, and Liverpool right now. There just is. And you need to accept that. We did well to stay in this game, come back and get in the game. And unfortunately, we didn't win. Cool. But we didn't brick it. We didn't bottle it. We didn't crumble defensively. We didn't make any silly mistakes. You could argue Sanchez shouldn't have conceded his near post call. I get that. But like I said, watch that back, and Martinelli's hit and hope that, levered it from, 6 yards out, tight angle. Sometimes it goes in, sometimes it doesn't. I would argue that the defence was sleeping for the chance to be created in the first place, but that's just me. I'm happy that Chelsea are third in the Premier League. We've not seen us this high on the table for so long. It's been 11 games played. Maresca's been here 4 months, and this Chelsea side has transformed. We are third in the league going into the international break. The teams around us are on level points. Makes for a very interesting race for them top 3, top 4 positions for Christmas, which is the big pivotal point of the season. And I'm excited. I am so happy to be a Chelsea fan. It's such a stark difference from last season, and Maresca is working wonders. But I'm going to stop rambling now. They are my thoughts and opinions. I would like to know your thoughts and opinions on the Chelsea game. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I love having a conversation with you guys. It's an incredible community that we are building here. We go into the international break. I do have a surprise on the channel coming very, very soon. So if you are new around here and you like Chelsea content, make sure you click like and subscribe and leave your comment below. It massively helps the channel. If you got to this end of the video, there will be a thumbnail that appears on the screen. Like I said, if you're a Chelsea fan, enjoy Chelsea content, click that thumbnail because that's a video that you will enjoy too.